minute matters, every point crucial, and we're about to get proceedings underway. It will be the boot of Dane Chisholm. Whitehaven will have first use of the ball, and they will move the ball down the middle straight away with Mark Shackley, and Shackley heads away towards the far stand side. So we'll go through the Whitehaven side this afternoon on Bulls Live and Proper Sport, and it'll be Jordan Burns at fullback, wing three-quarter line, Danny Green, Chris Taylor, Jason Mossop and David Thompson, the half-back pairing of Callum Phillips and Stuart Howarth, the front row forwards, Mark Shackley, James Tilley, Carl Foster, Connor Holliday and Jesse Joe Parker, and at loose forward it will be Ellis Gillam, and on the interchange bench for Cal Foster's side it'll be Chris Coward, Josh Eves, who's currently on loan from St Helens, and there'll be two debutants, the two Jordans, Jordan Herve and Jordan Thompson. So Whitehaven up to halfway, giving the ball, keeping it alive as Callum Phillips kicks one towards Pickersgill. Pickersgill will let that one roll over the dead ball line. So Whitehaven's first set of 6 has seen them play error-free rugby league football. They got up to the halfway line before the kick from Callum Phillips looked to turn around the Bulls on this main stand side, and it will be, of course, a 7-tackle set. So John Keir's side bounced back after that defeat here last time out against York with a big result, 58 points to 12 against London Scholars last Saturday, and they'll be looking for more of the same. It'll be Pickersgill at fullback, the wing three-quarter line, Dalton Grant, Toyo Igodo on his home debut, Ross Oakes and Ethan Ryan, the halves Jordan Lilly and Dane Chisholm, front row forwards James Green, Sam Haller, Steve Crossley, Matt Garside, Elliot Minchella, and at loose forward Mikey Wood, and on the interchange bench for John Keir's side this afternoon, Vila Halafihi, Johnny Pownall on debut, Liam Kirk and Ross Peltier. Fourth tackle gone, Bradford 10 metres inside the Whitehaven half. It'll go from Garside to Oakes. Oakes is wrapped up on the last tackle. We've had 2 minutes gone on the clock here. Goes to Lilly. Lilly, angled kick, looking for Ryan. Ryan, the ball's come off the Whitehaven winger, Danny Green. It's gone into touch. Head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. It will be a repeat set of 6 inside the opening 3 minutes this afternoon. Great kick from Jordan Lilly. Great pressure from Ethan Ryan. John Keys, good afternoon.
Hi Mick, yeah, good afternoon everybody. Yeah, tip for tat sets there, eh? But Whitehaven didn't do too well there with that kick from Jordan Lilly. Bulls now got a scrum on the 10, but it's going to be another warm afternoon here, and Bradford need to get some points on the board, I think, to catch up York a bit from last week.
Dane Chisholm to Hallis, to Lilly, to Ryan. Tackle number 1, Bradford, 8 metres away from the Whitehaven line, centre of the field. It'll go Hallis to Green. Green up to the Whitehaven line, pushed back there. Shackley and Tilley, good, great goal line defence as it goes now from Hallis to Lilly. Lilly out to Chisholm, to Garside. Garside through a hole. Can he touch down? No, he can't. He's wrapped up a metre shy of the line. That was Jesse Joe Parker who had to come in and wrap him up. It goes now from Chisholm to Lilly. Lilly to Igodo. Igodo goes on that right-hand edge, puts the fend in, heads to the corner, and once again, great scrambling defence here from Whitehaven. They're on the rack early doors. Lilly has the ball in the pocket. Back to Mikey Wood. Wood will straighten up. He's had the ball pinched. It was a one-on-one strip, says referee Tom Grant. And that will see Whitehaven keep their line unscathed, and it will remain scoreless here at Odsal Stadium. We've had exactly 4 minutes gone on the clock, and John, the Bulls looking a little bit adventurous, doing some good stuff, but also a bit of shakiness. There's no George Flanagan this afternoon, so Sam Hallis recalled, and a little bit of shakiness from Hallis early doors with a pass out of sync.
Yeah, absolutely, and just trying to score, I think, early on, and it's the right thing to do, obviously, but it just looks a bit unstructured at the moment, and now, you know, that I'm not sure about that ball steal either, but Whitehaven now coming back out of their own half.
Well, one thing we do know about Cal Foster's side and Whitehaven this afternoon, they arrive at Odsal on the back of a 6-game winning streak. Their last defeat was back in round 13 on the 7th of June, and that was when Bradford They were involved in a real arm wrestle up at the recreation ground, and it was a late Vila Halafihi try in the 80th minute that settled the spoils that afternoon, and that could really be a crucial 2 points in the scheme of things. First penalty of the afternoon, it's gone to the hosts, the Bulls, for laying on in the tackle. So a kick from Lily will advance the Bulls just outside the Whitehaven 20. Minchella was back to try scoring from last week in that victory over London Scholars. 26 tries for the season. He'll take the first carry. 12 metres out from the line. Hallis to Steve Crossley. Crossley fronts up and he's wrapped up. Once again, he's the captain this afternoon in the absence of Lee Smith. Chisholm to Wood. Wood on this left-hand edge. Well wrapped up though by Phillips and Howarth. Parker comes in as the third man. What will Hallis do? Hallis will try and pinch one from dummy half, and Hallis, on his return to action, has touched down at the side of the post. Bradford have opened the scoring. We've had 6 minutes gone on the clock, and it is Bradford Bulls 4, Whitehaven no score.
Soft defending that really, eh? Fair play to Sam, he spotted a gap, picked the ball up at dummy half and went in close to the post there. But Whitehaven will be disappointed with that goal line D there. They crumbled a little bit and Sam managed to get the ball down.
You suspect player coach Carl Foster, who's out there this afternoon, John, for Whitehaven. He'll be bitterly disappointed with the ease that Sam Hallis took on the 2 Whitehaven marker defenders and also beat the fullback Jordan Burns.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it was a bit of soft goal line defence there really from Whitehaven. Dane will kick this now hopefully, and Bradford go into an early 6-0 lead.
Dane Chisholm kicking at 85% in 2018, 8 from 12 last week, and he has just converted his 94th conversion attempt for the Bulls, currently 3rd in the goals point scoring in Betfred League One, 2nd overall with total points. Let's not forget Dane Chisholm, 14 tries in 2018, 2 tries last week. And Whitehaven will move the ball back to the halfway line on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon. Bob Jowett, Chris Minchella, John Frederick Ackroyd, Brian Ball, Margaret Hallis, John Nicholl, Steve Smith, Andy Knowles, all joining us on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon. And we've got to say a huge congratulations to the Bradford Bulls women's side that defeated Stanley in the plate final at the Halliwell Jones. The game was a 1 p.m. kickoff. It was live on Proper Sport, and certainly I enjoyed watching that here at Odsall in the press room before walking to the gantry. So congratulations to Mark Prescott and the Bradford Bulls women's side. They have successfully defeated Stanley by 44 points to 16, and they pick up their first piece of silverware in 2018, 44 points to 16 against Stanley. Minchella to Lily, Lily to Wood. Wood's wrapped up on the 4th tackle on the restart, 10 metres inside the Whitehaven half, centre field position. Hallis to Chisholm, to Garside, to Pickersgill. Pickersgill, 18th man last week, called into action just 25 minutes before kick-off. John Keir's man of the match, a stellar performance at fullback. Chisholm on the last, looking for Lily, but it's been taken in the field of play there by Burns. Burns is trapped in goal, and Jordan Lilly and Igodo, a beautifully timed 2-man tackle. Although referee Tom Grant's going to say Igodo with Lily around the legs has pushed Burns back in the field of play. Sorry, back towards his own in-goal line. First penalty for Whitehaven, a penalty apiece. And here on Bulls Live Proper Sport, with 8 minutes gone, Whitehaven should have, perhaps with a little bit more composure, had a tap on the halfway line and a full set of 6 inside the Bradford half. But Dalton Grant palms the ball back, and it's returned there by Brandon Pickersgill on tackle number 1. So after conceding the penalty, the Bulls now looking to make Whitehaven pay. Chisholm finds Oakes. Oakes wrapped up by Parker and Taylor in a 2-man tackle. Taylor also there with Phillips. They're 10 metres out, 5 in from this main stand side. Chisholm to Steve Crossley, and Crossley's brought down by Shackley and Tilley. 2-man tackle once again from Whitehaven, as we said. spirited performances in the last 6 games. They arrive at Odsal, looking to make it 7 on the bounce. James Green towards the line. He's offloaded the ball backwards towards Lilly. Tom Grant will stop the clock. He'll get the word in the ear from the touch judge. That's come off a Whitehaven hand, and it will be scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. More pressure for Whitehaven to suffer, John. And what do you make of the Bradford Bulls so far in the opening 10 minutes?
Yeah, looking pretty good. Whitehaven failed to find touch there, but Bradford looking pretty sharp. Pickers has made some good runs already, and like you said, came on last week, got man of the match, I think, down in London. Yeah, they're looking pretty sharp. I don't know whether Whitehaven have got off the bus yet, if I'm honest. They don't seem to have strung a lot together. Their first set was all right, but since then they've been under the cosh here from the Bulls, and the Bulls are looking pretty confident this afternoon.
Chisholm will float it along the line towards Garside. Garside on tackle number 1. Quick play the ball. Pickersgill out to Ethan Ryan. And Ethan Ryan doing what Ethan Ryan does and scoring spectacular tries. He now has try 26 for the season. 23 tries in Bradford League 1. Wow! Ethan Ryan has doubled the Bulls' lead, and that was just the speed of the ball. It was Garside on tackle number 1. It went from Hallis to Pickersgill. Pickersgill missed out Oaks, and Ethan Ryan dives in at the corner. Bradford Bulls 10, Whitehaven 0.
Great finish from Ethan. Good ball from Brandon, actually. Shame there, Ethan actually finished that try with both of his feet on the ground, which is very rare for him. So if his dad's listing up in Scotland, mate, you need to come back. He's not doing it properly. But great start, you know, two quick tries really early on in the game, and you just feel a bit for Whitehaven. Like I said, they don't look like they've got off the bus yet, and there's a big conference going on now behind the sticks, but I think it's going to be a tough afternoon for them the way this game started.
That is Bradford's 192nd try of the John Kerr era. They've conceded 66, and currently the points for and against sees Bradford lead York by 86 points. York, incidentally, defeated Coventry at Bootham Crescent on Sunday, a game that you heard live on Proper Sport. It was 144 points going into that afternoon's fixture. York made a huge dent. It's now time for the Bulls to try and scale it back up to triple figures. Chisholm just wide with that conversion attempt, but the score remains on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon. Bradford Bulls 10, Whitehaven 0. And as we said, it's now back up to plus 86 in the final 7 games of the season. And let's not forget the Whitehaven's situation, currently 4th in the table, level on points with near neighbours and rivals, Workington Town, and below Workington and Whitehaven, Oldham, Doncaster, Hunslet. 3 traditional sides, all on 24 points, and they'll be hoping that the Bulls can do themselves a huge favour this afternoon. But Whitehaven, after conceding those early 2 tries, they'll be looking to put a good solid defensive spell as Hallis finds Crossley. Crossley's wrapped up once again by Parker. Shackley comes in as the second man, so too does Ellis Gillam. Gillam brings down Garside, and Oakes comes in to halt his forward progress. Oakes calls for the ball. Hallis goes back in centre field to Chisholm. Out wide to Lilly. Lilly to Igodo. Igodo goes! Can he find the support? No, he can't. But Igodo's wrapped up on the last tackle. 10 inside the Whitehaven half. Lilly looking for Oakes and Ryan. The kick's going to come down in centre field. Jordan Burns takes that under heavy pressure, and he's immediately tackled by Minchella and Wood. So we've already seen Jordan Lilly, John, proving quite effective and very lively on his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of good kicks gone up, and to be fair, that was a great take there by Jordan Burns. There's a big crowd around him. But Whitehaven seems to be struggling to make ground. But I'll be interested to see Jordan and Dane this afternoon. Different contest, of course, to last week. Again, Whitehaven are probably a bit stronger than London. Also on a grass pitch, which makes a huge difference to some of the boys. And now another poor error there from Whitehaven. Coughed up possession on the halfway line.
Connor Holliday just took a look at the onrushing duo of Garside and Minchella, and that will be the second error of the afternoon from the Cumbrian side. And as we said, when you look back to 2017 when Bradford missed out on the top four in 2016. Both Whitehaven and Workington relegated. They know they will potentially have a huge say in the top 5 playoffs because only one can go up automatically, and currently it's in a 2-way race between the Bulls and the Knights. Pickersgill from the scrum, brought down by Danny Green on this left-hand edge. Ethan Ryan in at dummy half to Hallis. Hallis to Garside. Garside lateral run will straight up on the right-hand edge, just to the right of centre field. And Matt Garside on the second tackle for John Keir's side is brought down 15 metres out. Hallis out of dummy half to Green. Green down the middle channel, and he is wrapped up under the shadow of the post. Referee Tom Grant wants a quick clean play of the ball this afternoon. Third penalty of the afternoon to the Bulls. 3-1 the penalty count, and Hallis will tap the ball with the sun blazing down across his face, and he'll give it to the tank, the robust Steve Crossley, who just carries it in on tackle number 1. 4 Whitehaven defenders sucked out of that defensive line. Will the Bulls give the ball some zip? It goes to Lilly. Lilly through a gap! There was nobody at home! And Jordan Lilly, on his home debut for the Bradford Bulls, has got the 3rd try of the afternoon. Where was the defence?
Oh, we said it on the first try, didn't we? Where was the defence? I mean, literally, Jordan's got the ball there, run straight through just a massive hole. And there's 3 scores on the board in the first 15 minutes here, and Whitehaven are struggling, I think, to deal with the Bradford attack at the moment.
Jordan Lilly, high fives and hugs. It's the former Stanley amateurs, Pickersgill and Hallis. They all grew up in the Leeds Rhinos academy system, and here they all are playing for the Bradford Bulls in 2018, and that now will take the plus points for and against ahead of the York City Knights out to plus 90. Chisholm then from in front, a chance to take it out to 92 with the right boots, and it just clears the crossbar. Scary stuff at Odsal, but Bulls Live proper sport. Bradford Bulls lead Whitehaven 16 points to 0. And we've had 16 minutes on the clock, so the Bulls currently going at a point a minute after 3 early tries from Hallis, Ryan and Lilly. Callan Phillips with the restart. In the far corner towards Minchella. Minchella, what a revelation, what a signing he has been under John Keir here at Odsal in 2018. Lilly once again, lively, finding Green. Green decides to just do what Green does. Strides forward, takes the tackle, quick play the ball. They're going to go out to Chisholm. Chisholm now to Garside. Garside on this left-hand edge, wrapped up and turned in the tackle. Carl Foster there, just asserting his physical dominance on this Bulls offence. And Jesse Joe Parker there with a good wrap and tackle on Hallis. Hallis brought down, 10 shy of the halfway line. Chisholm looks for an option, finds Lilly in centre field. Lilly will kick ahead over the top of Thompson. Thompson will take it on his own 20-metre line, and he'll immediately be brought down there by Minchella and Igodo. Once again, Lilly taking control in centre field, John.
Yeah, very much so. I don't think he got as much on the kick as he wanted. It looked like he sliced it there, but a good outcome for Bradford. You know, Whitehaven struggling to get any sort of rhythm going and coming out again from their own 30. Bradford are really dominating the game at the moment.
Well, it's Bulls Live, proper sport. Simon Hicks, Callum Linford, Adam Jones, Edward East, Simon Skerr, David Smith, Ben Hammonds, Adam Jones, all joining us this afternoon. Let us know in the comments where you're watching the game. David Smith says he's watching in Mallorca, while his little sister, Helen Smith, house sits. Well, hopefully the weather's just as good here as it is in Odsal. And Helen Smith says, go on, Jordan Lilly, good try. Good to see you back enjoying your rugby league. Whitehaven just awarded their second penalty. Referee Tom Grant really keen about the ruck this afternoon. And they're going to tap the ball 20 metres out. It'll go from Tilly to Holiday. Holiday wrapped up by Igodo. What will Howarth do? Howarth will find Shackley. Shackley's brought down 10 metres out, and this is the first real test this Bradford Bulls defence has had to be examined by as it goes to Parker. Parker tries to evade Hallis and Crossley, but he's wrapped up on the third tackle. 2 tackles remaining for Kyle Foster's side as they go down the middle channel out of the dummy half from Ellis Gillam. Gillam's brought down just a metre shy of the Bradford line, and out of dummy half. Whitehaven will try pinch one from Tilly, but the door is firmly closed. It's the last tackle. It goes to Howarth. Howarth kicks through. Pickersgill trapped in goal. Goal line dropout coming up here for the Bradford Bulls. Great kick, it must be said, from Stuart Howarth. He knows a lot about Odsal. He played a few games here back in 2016 under then head coach Rowan Smith, and incidentally Whitehaven's last visit to Odsal back in 2016 ended in a 64-18 defeat. Stuart Howarth that afternoon was playing scrum half with Dane Chisholm. Bradford 52 points to 0 at half time as the Bulls ran riot with 9 first half tries, including an Ethan Ryan hat-trick. So for those that say Ethan Ryan is the new phenomenon, let me tell you, Ethan Ryan's been doing Ethan Ryan stuff since 2016 when he made his debut here against the London Broncos on Easter Thursday. So, Bradford leading 16 points to 0. Bulls Live proper sport. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from and also your score predictions. Currently, Bradford lead York at the top of the table by 2 points and a +4 and against of +92 in the positive. That could all change though as Whitehaven look to build pressure after forcing the first repeat set of the afternoon. Shackley's wrapped up, brought down by Crossley and Hallis on tackle number 2. Tilly to Phillips. Phillips to Burns. Jordan Burns jinks into that Whitehaven attacking line, and Burns is wrapped up 12 metres out, and it's another penalty here to Whitehaven. Dane Chisholm, a bit of pushing and shoving at the ruck there, and this will now level the penalty count up at 3 penalties apiece. Bradford 16, Whitehaven 0, John.
I don't know what Dane's doing there, but he's lashed out with his feet at a guy lying on the floor who's now getting some treatment, which, no matter what's been said, you don't need to do that. He's the most talented man on the field, and that sort of behaviour to me, we don't need it. I don't know what's going to happen now because the touch judge is on, so he's obviously seen something else. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the bin, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen now, does it? I think they're going to get a talking to, both captains, from the referee.
Well, I've just watched it on the replay, and the tackle's complete, and there's a bit of niggliness at the play the ball, and the incident will be placed on report, and I think it will probably go before the match review committee, and Dane perhaps might have a case to answer just watching the replay there, but we'll remain to see what happens.
Just before play restarts, Mick, can I just give a quick shout out to Chris Minchella, who's been in hospital this week and had an operation. I know he's watching today. He messaged me earlier, so Chris, hope you get well soon and your lad's doing all right.
Whitehaven kick towards the in-goal area. Lilly loses the ball, but Pickersgill safe as houses. He is trapped in goal, and Whitehaven have forced another repeat set of 6, so this will perhaps take a bit of energy out of the Bulls' tank. And for those people currently watching abroad and wanting a house sitter, well, let me tell you, I'll recommend Brandon Pickersgill, because nothing is getting past Brandon Pickersgill so far this afternoon. And on Bulls Live and Proper Sport, we've had just over 20 minutes gone, and the score remains 16-0. But for the last 5 minutes and the last 4 sets of 6, it has all been Whitehaven. Can they penetrate and get past this Bradford Bulls defensive line in the sun here at Odsal Stadium. It's Saturday afternoon. It's going to go with Foster. Foster down the middle, tackle 2, just outside the 20. Good field position here for Whitehaven. Howarth goes on that left-hand edge. Flat pass, missed by the officials.
2 yards forward.
Third tackle gone, 15 out. Shackley has the ball. Shackley comes up with the error, and he'll kick the ball like scoring a goal between the posts, and that has gone over the dead ball line. And the pressure, once again, John, after forcing those 2 goal line dropouts, is off, and that won't be pleasing the head coach, Cal Foster.
No, it won't be, but they've done well to come back into the game, because I thought they were dead and buried, to be honest, 10 minutes ago. They forced a couple of repeat sets. Shame there, to be honest, was a forward pass there, 2 yards forward that the ref didn't pick up. And just a bit of poor skill around the ruck, but they've actually had a little dig, haven't they, in the last 10 minutes. So, whilst Bradford are 16-0 up, and I believe they'll win the game quite easily, Whitehaven are starting to get into the game a little bit.
Well, Eddie Garner, a Whitehaven supporter, joining us this afternoon. He's questioning how that incident could have been placed on reports. He's saying further action should have been taken. Here come the Bulls, though. Great run from the scrum from Dalton Grant. Electrifying pace. 2 tries against York in vain, but he did score a career 100. James Green leaves the field. And Liam Kirk is out there, and Liam Kirk's about to get his first taste of action this afternoon. It'll go from Hallis to Kirk. Kirk makes 10 metres forward. Whitehaven back inside their own 20 now. Bradford knocking at the doors. It goes from Hallis. Hallis, tremendous pace there, just attacking on Cal Foster, who's turned in the tackle. 5th and last tackle. Penalty given away on the last from the player coach. He knew what he was doing. 4-3, the penalty count in favour of the Bulls. And we have 18 minutes to go to half time. What will the Bulls do here? They're going to keep the pressure on, although John Keir has 2 fingers in the air and says, we'll take the 2 points. So Bradford showing Whitehaven a lot of respect here, John.
They are. Whitehaven just aren't doing themselves any favours. Poor skill at the ruck caused a scrum. Dalton then runs 45 metres with the ball. 2 plays later, Sam Hallis wins a penalty and Bradford take the 2 points. I don't know if I'd take the 2, actually, to be honest. The way that Bradford are playing, I'd have gone for another 4. But John, as we know, likes to get his points on the board. So another easy 2 points, 18-0 up and half the first half gone.
Andy Nowell says, come on, Whitehaven, get off the bus and give the Bulls a game. Chisholm from in front, adds the extra 2. 3 from 4 attempts. Bradford lead Whitehaven here at Odsal at the midway point in this first half by 18 points to 0. If you're just joining us, Hallis, Ryan and Lilly, all young, homegrown talent. Lilly, of course, coming through the Stanley Rhinos. Hallis 2, and Ethan Ryan, West Bowling and the Bradford Bulls, 3 homegrown players who have a bright future in the English game. So 18-0, Whitehaven trail. Their 6-game winning streak in serious jeopardy here at Odsal, as it'll go from Hallis to Minchella. Minchella's going to be brought down on the right-hand edge, a metre shy of the far stand touchline. Igodo in at dummy half, and you certainly can't allow Toyo Igodo any room to move, because you blink, he'll be gone. Igodo just shy of the halfway line. Hallis, Lilly. Lilly along the line to Wood. Wood crashes onto a short ball, brought down in a 3-man tackle on tackle number 4. This is the restart after Chisholm added an extra 2 for the Bulls. Chisholm's going to be wrapped up 30 metres out, and this in fact will be the last tackle. Lilly's calling for it. Lilly gets it from Hallis. Lilly, crossfield kick, looking to find Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan decides to let Danny Green take the ball. 12 out from his own line. He's wrapped up and he's brought down. And Whitehaven now, they'll have the ball, but 2 tackles gone. And they're 15 out from their own line. Hallis and Crossley in that defensive effort. Cal Foster tries to take things into his own hands. and he'll just meet Steve Crossley head on. The two tens collide there in centre field. Here goes Jesse Joe Parker, the Papua New Guinean international. He's caught high across the face, and that'll be Whitehaven's fourth penalty of the afternoon. Tom Flynn, Jamie Stevenson, Callum Brannan, Elliot McElroy and John Nicol joining us this afternoon on Bulls Live Proper Sport. And referee Tom Grant has blown 9 penalties so far in this first half. It's just perhaps having a little bit of a effect on the direction and the flow of this one. Parker on tackle 1. Out of dummy half from Josh Eaves, the young St Helens hooker, who will continue to the end of the season with Whitehaven. Goes out to Foster. Foster to Howarth. Howarth to Holiday. Holiday brought down, but the ball has popped out. Lilly on the 0 tackle, the free play. The bounce of the ball could be kind. It's come off the knee of Matt Garside. Ethan Ryan looking to put pressure on. Referee Tom Grant will stop the clock. Will go all the way back, 50 metres downfield. It was the first error from Holiday, and it will be scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. Josh Ellison, Craig Potter, Harry Ingham, Stacey Hewitt joining us this afternoon. And we've just seen Ross Peltier come on for Mikey Wood. And incidentally, when I was looking through all the record books, Whitehaven, they may have defeated Bradford Northern on many occasions on the Cumbrian Peninsula at the recreation ground, but Whitehaven have never won at Odsal Stadium. The closest that Whitehaven have ever come to victory at Odsal was a 17-4 loss in 1973. That's the history lesson for the afternoon. Hallis to Peltier. Peltier down the middle, brought down 5 metres inside the Whitehaven half. Callum Phillips on the top of Peltier, testing referee Tom Grant's patience. Kirk, short pass, drives forward, brought down, 30 metres out, centre field. Hallis misses out Crossley, promotes the ball to Lilly. Lilly through a gap to Minchella. Minchella now on the Whitehaven 20, wriggles forward. He'll play the ball 15 metres out, and referee Tom Grant will stop the clock because Stuart Howarth is down in back play, and Howarth just getting up a little bit groggily, a little bit gingerly. He looks to be holding the left arm, and on will come the Whitehaven physios. And in today's age, John, quite impossible really to see that aside in nearly 100 years of professional and semi-professional rugby league have still not gone to a ground and won.
Yeah, it's difficult though, isn't it, as well? But, you know, if you remember our trip up there earlier in the year, it was raining and on a soccer field, in my eyes, a community soccer field. It was tiny. And, of course, you come here, and no wonder, you know, a lot of our tries are scored from kicks to the corner. The ground is so wide, people are not used to defending it, you know, and they don't know how to play on it. Again, it all goes back to stuff about, standard-sized pitches and everything else. But 100 years is a long time, I suppose, to be travelling somewhere and not get a win. And it's not looking like they're going to get one this afternoon. Mr. Howarth seems that he's back up on his feet and all right. I don't know whether he was injured or whether he was slowing the game down.
Referee Tom Grant says time back on. Hallis to Lilly. Lilly looks for options, finds Crossley. Crossley, like the bumper car at the fairground, wrapped up, 15 out last tackle. Lilly crossfield kick, looking for Grant. Grant takes the ball. Grant was taken out high off the ball there. The referee and touch judge, they've got this one wrong. Head and feet to Whitehaven. That'll draw jeers from the crowd. And Lilly's crossfield kick there for Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant clearly taken out off the ball in the act of trying to retrieve it. And I guess a huge let off there for Whitehaven. They'll have the scrum. Oh, the referee, incidentally, will actually say it will be a play the ball. Lady scored elsewhere, Stevenage Park. West Wales Raiders 0, Hunsley 22. And let's not forget tomorrow, Coventry host Doncaster, Hemel against Oldham, Newcastle against London, Workington versus Keighley, So Craig Lingard's side going up to meet Leon Price at Derwent Park, and it's the York City Knights against North Wales Crusaders at Bootham Crescent. I think everybody will potentially be watching the Challenge Cup semi-finals, but I think I might have another trip to Bootham Crescent tomorrow to certainly see how James Ford and the Knights get on. Whitehaven 10 metres shy of the halfway line, and it'll go out of the dummy half roll from Eves to Foster. Foster plays the ball on the last. Howarth, testing kick for Pickersgill, bounces up kindly. Pickersgill will take it 15 out, brought down on just outside his own 20-metre line, and we have 11 minutes to go to half-time here at Odsal Stadium. And the last 10 minutes, John, the game's just gone a little bit flat. Still Bradford leading 18-0.
Yeah, flat, and then you see like there that Whitehaven have the ball in the last tackle and they literally chip the ball into the Bradford fullback. I don't understand that. At least drive it into touch, and do a bit of game management and restart the game with a scrum and hunt an error, but the kick wasn't very good. Bradford just seem to have gone off the ball a little bit at the moment, don't they?
Minchella wrapped up on the Whitehaven 40. Lilly sucks in the Whitehaven defence, shows confidence, can't get past Phillips. Phillips wraps him up on the last tackle. Here goes Pickersgill. Pickersgill, a clever kick, but Jordan Burns reads that like a #1 bestseller in Waterstones, and he'll carry the ball out outside his 10, and with exactly 10 minutes to go to half-time, it's Hallis, Ryan, Lilly, the try-scorers for the Bulls, and they lead by 18 points to 0 here at Odsal. It's round 20. After this weekend, just 6 more rounds to go. The Bulls away trips to North Wales, West Wales, and that romantic location called Oldham, and home games against Workington Town, Keighley Cougars and Hemel Stags. Here come Whitehaven, looking to try and build a bit of pressure, try and get a score just before half-time. Howarth's fine touch, 10 metres out, but he was over the 40. This will be scrum, head and feed to the Bradford Bulls, but it's turned the Bulls around, and despite John conceding those early 3 tries in the opening 16 minutes. 16 minutes later, 8 minutes to half-time, you've got to say Whitehaven growing into this game and perhaps just getting on top.
Yeah, well, they finally sort of got off the bus. I mean, we've had 2 kicks there, so contrasting, it's unbelievable. And Stuart Howarth put a good kick in there. Now a scrum on the 10, and they're going to hunt a mistake here from Brad. You're right, bit of a
John Almond, Luke Barnes, Will Skirkett, Ian McPhee, all joining us this afternoon. And Bradford awarded 6th penalty of the afternoon. And as we said in the pre-match focus, Whitehaven certainly aren't lacking that team spirit and passion, and that has seen them with 6 straight wins, defeating Newcastle, London, Keighley at the Recreation Ground, and picking up away wins at North Wales, West Wales, and of course the memorable 24-22 victory against Workington Town 4 weeks ago. Here at Odsal though, they're trying to keep it tight at 18 points to 0. They don't want to concede before half-time. Hallis has left the field. Halafihi is on. Here goes Peltier. Peltier goes down the middle, looks for support, decides to take the tackle. 2 tackles remaining here, and Dane Chisholm's down in back play, holding the face. So referee Tom Grant will stop the clock now, and chance for a bit of a breather. Michelle Sherd says, "Come on, you Bulls." Toby Griffiths, loving the commentary. Neil Cromwell, is Proper Sports a Bulls channel? Proper Sports is not a Bulls channel, just that Bulls Live, utilising the great facilities at Proper Sports. And Stuart Collinson joining us and enjoying the action this afternoon. Bob Mayers saying a bit of stop-start today, and I think we've already commented, it's a little bit frustrating, all the penalties and the stop-start nature, but Danchism and player safety has to be paramount. We've already seen Stuart Howarth receiving attention from the physio and club doctors, and there we see the 18th and 19th men this afternoon. Joe Keys, George Milton, giving the players a bit of a refreshment break, but let's not forget, all the focus and attention will turn on the York City Knights at Bootham Crescent on Sunday, should Bradford get the job done this afternoon. We're about to see the 26-year-old former Lee man, Johnny Pownell, currently on a end-of-season loan from the Toronto Wolfpack, has been playing in the Championship with Barrow. So Dane Chisholm will leave the field. He'll get checked over by the Bradford Bulls doctor and physio. And Johnny Pownell making his Bulls debut here at Odsall, and he'll take the position of Ross Oakes on this left-hand edge inside Ethan Ryan. Alafihi to Lilly. Lilly finds the ball to Pickersgill. Brandon Pickersgill has a fourth try, and it's the old Stanningly duo of Lilly and Pickersgill. And Pickersgill extends the Bulls' lead further to 22 points to 0.
Hey, do you know what? We've seen that move 3 times this year, and Bradford has scored off every one, and I think it's been with 3 different halfbacks. Lilly, Keys and Chisholm have all done that at different points. The ball back inside, and the fullback has scored. Good try. It looks like Chisholm's gone off with got to do a HIA. So it looks like Elliot Mincella's gone to halfback on the left-hand side of the field. But yeah, good finish, and now Jordan's going to take over the kicking duties. Let's hope he's got his kicking boots on.
Well, Jordan Lilly on a season-long loan, and then another season till the end of 2019. And with 7 minutes to go to half-time, Bradford Bulls leading Whitehaven by 22 points to 0. And certainly, when you look at Whitehaven and positives, the West Cumbrian club, they certainly have a very respected leader and coach in the former St Helens Swinton and Salford prop Foster. He was, of course, last season's League One Coach of the Year. Great things developing at Whitehaven as Lilly looks to add on the extra 2. The cheers will tell you that is between the posts. So Lilly, already a try this afternoon, now he's added an extra 2, and it is 24 points to 0 here at Odsall Stadium. And just going back to Cal Foster and Whitehaven, they certainly have some useful forwards. Papua New Guineans, Jesse Joe Parker, Dion Eyre, both well established at the club. Dion Eyre doesn't play this afternoon. He's out with a bicep injury, and Lewis Brown, of course, still recovering from the knock to the shoulder. And Dan Abram, who featured along with Dion Eyre in that tight game at the recreation ground. All Whitehaven's points coming from Abram and Eyre on that soggy afternoon, all missing through injury. For the Bulls, Gibson, Laithwaite, Smith, Busting, McNally on the injury table. Milton and Keys, 18th and 19th men. So both sides nowhere near full strength, but in the closing embers of this first half, Bradford Bulls 24, Whitehaven 0, as they'll move the ball on this left-hand edge, and Johnny Pownell will have his first play the ball in the red, amber and black. Halafihi, Garside up and running with 9 tries this season. Still going forward, gets the ball out towards Halafihi, last tackle. Lilly loses his footing, gets the kick away. Lilly has run behind his own man, says referee Tom Grant, and that will even the penalty count up at 6 penalties apiece. And with 4 minutes remaining, Whitehaven have a chance, John.
Yeah, just a bit of poor communication there. I don't know whether Ross knew that, or Peltier knew that Jordan was going to get the ball, but of course, once you run into contact with him, then you are using him as a shield. So Whitehaven now kick the ball down. Yeah, they found touch this time. They're going to start the set 20 metres out.
Let's see what Whitehaven can do here. The small band of supporters that have come down the M6 and across the M62. They're willing their side on here. It will be Parker on tackle, number 1. And he wins the penalty. So 13 penalties we've had now in this first half. Referee Tom Grant keen to explain to Steve Crossley, who comes racing out of the defensive line, that it was for a professional foul. He did held him down in the tackle. And Whitehaven, can they cross this Bradford Bulls defensive try line? The Bulls in 2018 conceding 11.2 points per game. Here goes Howarth. The ball misses Howarth, finds Burns. Burns is going to be brought down by Kirk on the left-hand edge, and they're still 15 metres shy of the Bradford line. Howarth to Gillam. Gillam sucks in the defence. Ball goes backwards, but the referee, Tom Grant, is now going to say Gillam lost the ball on contact. Peltier and Mincelli, sorry, with the two-man tackle. And that now, Whitehaven's 6th error in the first half. And quite a few supporters on the live stream commenting about the stop-start nature. And I think, John, when you've got 13 errors in the first half and 13 penalties, that's 26 unclean sets.
Yeah, you also mentioned 2 lads that are missing for Whitehaven, and to me that's really evident. In good ball, they've had maybe 4 or 5 sets of good ball in this half, and haven't really. I know they've forced some goal line dropouts, but even then, they're not attacking the line, the half back. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve by doing that. You know, they're not going forward with any great will in good ball, and yeah, far too many errors on both sides already for me.
Bradford up another halfway with Halafihi brought down on the Whitehaven 40. He's now lost the ball on contact, so make that another error for the Bradford Bulls this afternoon. And it will be scrum, head and feet to Whitehaven. So we're just looking for a bit of consistency, a bit of cohesion, a bit of continuity from both sides. But I think John Kay will be relatively pleased, leading by 24 points to 0. We've got 2 minutes remaining on the clock. It is Bulls Live and proper sport. And as we said, a full round of action from the lowest tier of the professional pyramid, and loads of exciting games coming up on Sunday afternoon that might potentially tickle the taste buds. And Whitehaven, a chance. 3 tackles remaining. Here it goes from Eves to Gillam. Gillam brought down in a 3-man tackle. 4th tackle gone, 38 metres out. What can Phillips do? The former Workington man is just going to drill one behind Pickersgill and Ryan. It's gone into touch, head and feet to the Bulls with exactly 60 seconds remaining here at Odsal Stadium. John, what's going to be said at half-time from both coaches?
Well, I think Carl's going to say that he's sort of reasonably happy, but they just haven't brought enough to the field for me yet, Whitehaven. You know, I know they're losing, but like you said, they've never won here in 100 years, so it's likely not to happen today. From John's point of view, you know, what can you say? They're winning by 24 points, and that's what these games are about, just to keep winning and getting the 2 points all the time. But I think he'd like a bit more efficiency. It's gone a bit flat, hasn't it, in the last 10-15 minutes? You know, I know we got the try there, but they're just, Bradford have lost their rhythm a little bit for me.
Well, I might have done Whitehaven a little bit of a disservice earlier. They weren't founded until 1948, the same year as the NHS, the National Health Service. So not quite 100 years, but we're up to 70 years. And it's going to be Bradford with one last chance with 30 seconds remaining. Garside will play the ball. Halafihi to Minchella to Lilly. Lilly finds Oakes, who's back on the field. Oakes is brought down 5 metres inside the Whitehaven half. The hooter about to sound. The final play of the first half. Igodo's kick taken by Thompson. Half-time here at Odsal. And it is Bradford Bulls leading Whitehaven, the Cumbrians, by 24 points to 0. Courtesy of tries from Hallis, Ryan, Lilly and Pickersgill. John, and at half-time, it was the Bulls leading Whitehaven by 24 points to 0. The good news for the Bulls supporters concerned about Dane Chisholm is he's back out there for the start of the second half, and the Bulls, they'll have first use of the ball, and let's see what they can do with it. Half-time, incidentally, at the Halliwell Jones. Castleford leading Leeds by 14 points to 6. Here goes Matt Garside on that left-hand edge. And it's an early error from the Bulls. Scrum to Whitehaven. And I think we might see a continuation of what happened in the first half, John. It could be a long, long second half.
Possibly. I mean, we've come up with an error. Bradford come up with an error there in the first set. Be interested to see what Carl said to Whitehaven actually at half time for me, because they haven't really, for me, had a proper dig yet. But again, Mick, how hot is it out there? I've just been outside the commentary position there for a couple of minutes. It's boiling outside, so it must be even worse down there while you're running around and getting knocked about. So, be interested to see how this the first 10 minutes pan out in this second half.
Just a big shout out to Richard Johnson, Jill Johnson, joining us this afternoon, and also Val, who sadly who broke a leg in an accident earlier on in the week. So. Hopefully you've had good news from the Bradford Royal Infirmary, Val, and you've got your feet up and you're enjoying the Bradford Bulls and Whitehaven this afternoon here at Odsall. Whitehaven looking for first points, as we said, with a hunger, an application to this Bradford Bulls defensive line, certainly the best that I can remember for a couple of seasons, and it is the last tackle. Eves to Phillips. Phillips past Peltier. Pass out wide to Parker. Knock on from Taylor. Although the referee says the ball's gone backwards. It's picked up by Pickersgill. And now Pickersgill's knocked the ball on. Head and feet to Whitehaven. 2 early errors at the start of this second half.
Gone to Bradford.
Although referee Tom Grant now will have to explain his decision to Jordan Thompson, who's on making his debut. And he's going to say first knock on was the palm back by Chris Taylor. So, head and feed to the Bulls. A huge let off there for the Bulls. Sorry, Whitehaven fought that head and feed, but the referee Tom Grant says first knock on against Haven. Scrum, head and feed of the Bulls.
Yeah, scrappy start from both sides to start this second half. I don't understand a situation like that when you get the ball in your own 10 and you make a panic pass to offload. Just keep hold of the football when they've made an error and start again, and go through your process, march up the field.
Reece Burns, Joe Stirk, Jamie Dion, Brad Ellis, all joining us this afternoon. Here goes Lily. Minchella's now lost the ball, and that is another error from the Bulls. They've made 9 errors in this game thus far, the Bulls. They made 8 last week, and the 9 errors, they've took them to 202 for the season. And it's this ball retention and low completion rate. It won't be pleasing John Keir, John.
Probably not. I think we spent most of last season, didn't we, Mick, calling errors in matches, up to sometimes 20 and 30. When you look at those figures, though, that's 10 errors a game, and that's a lot to make, And now Whitehaven have thrown a wild pass off the back of the scrum, but I think John would be keen for them to cut down on the errors, and by cutting down on them, of course, you're going to get more field position, more time with the ball.
Gavin Liang, if I've pronounced it right, joining us from Sydney, Australia. Let me tell you something. The Roosters and the Cowboys this morning. What a battle royal that was from the NRL. Watch that game this evening if you get a chance. That was rugby league royalty. Here at Odsall, it's not quite the Paupers, but it's nowhere near the Princes. 20 metres out on the last tackle. What will Howarth do? Howarth takes aim. Centre field kick, but great take there from Vila Halafihi. Oh, sorry, I say Jordan Lilly. Halafihi and Pickersgill on the left-hand edge. Here goes Toyo Igodo. Here goes Igodo, throwing a huge roar from the Odsall crowd. Igodo wraps up, 15 out from halfway, appealing for a penalty. Lilly to Peltier. Peltier's brought down. The crowd, the players, imploring referee Tom Grant to put whistle to lips. Lilly looks to go through a hole, but he can't get past Howarth. Howarth wraps him up on the halfway line. Halafihi now marshalling the ball at dummy half. Last tackle. Back to Lilly on this right-hand edge. Lilly goes high. Minchella, Grant, looking to put pressure on Jordan Burns, but Jordan Burns takes it. 15 out from his own try line, and the score remains Bradford 24, Whitehaven 0, Betfred League 1 round 20. 6 rounds to go after this weekend, and we're about to see the 8th penalty awarded to Whitehaven. We've had 14 penalties now in this match. Someone get on the phone to Matt Checking and tell Matt Checking is wanted over here. Quick tap against the scoreboard and against the clock. Connor Holliday wrapped up on his own 40, 10 shy of halfway. Eves out of dummy half to debutant Thompson. Jordan Thompson's brought down on the halfway line. Here goes Phillips. Phillips to Holliday. Holliday wrapped up. 3 Bradford defenders there in that tackle. Peltier, Kirk and Halafihi. Phillips, neat little reverse pass on the inside to Coward. Chris Coward making shallow meters, but he advances Whitehaven further up the field. An early kick on the 4th tackle, palm back by Chisholm. Chisholm to Pickersgill. Pickersgill caught high. Penalty count. Penalty count 8-7 now, and yeah, I like to be enthusiastic about rugby league, John, but this is a little bit difficult.
So many errors in the first few minutes in this half, but they're just, to me, it just seems both teams are panicking a bit, and I don't really know why. Particularly for the Bulls, you know, they've got a good lead here. They just want to build and make some progress up the field, but there just seems to be lots of silly errors creeping in, and the fluency isn't there today, I don't think.
Liam Kirk will get up and play the ball. Halafihi, Chisholm, Lilly to Minchella. And this is very unlike Elliot Minchella, who has come up with his 3rd error in the match. And that now is 10 errors for the Bradford Bulls so far. At the start of this second half, with Bradford leading 24 points to 0. We've had 8 minutes gone, 32 minutes remain. And we've got Alex Williams, Simon Hicks, Joe Brown, Andy Ryan, James Payne, Mark Shelton, all joining us this afternoon on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. And if you're just joining us, all the first half points really come in the opening 15 minutes when Hallis, Ryan and Lilly saw the Bulls scoring at a point a minute. But at this moment in time, Bradford leading York by 2 clear points and 100 points in the positive. York host North Wales Crusaders at Bootham Crescent on Sunday afternoon. That one promises to be unmissable rugby league action. Here come Whitehaven over on the halfway line. Can they create something? What's going to be the catalyst and spark? It could be their 9th penalty of the afternoon as the ball's been stolen. 2 in the tackle. And we've now had 16 penalties in this match, and the stop-start nature will continue. And I guess, John, you've got to say there was no real need there for Matt Garside to pull the ball out, and the Bulls have put themselves under pressure.
They have. Unfortunately, there's a lot of errors, but neither team has taken advantage of those errors. I'm surprised they're Whitehaven have run this. I thought I might kick downfield 20 yards and build from there, but they've decided to run it. But yeah, soft penalties from both sides at the moment. Some silly knock-ons. Elliot Minchella would have scored there. For a couple of games ago, he'd have run in there from 30 metres, but that's what happens, isn't it? You know, the errors are creeping in, and sooner or later they become habits, I think, which is what seems to be happening in this game.
Phillips is brought down 12 metres out. 5 to the right-hand side of the post. It'll go to Eves. Eves on a scampering run out of dummy half. He's now come up with an error. The penalty error fest continues. It's the free play. Igodo has it. Puts the fend on Thompson. Looks for a gap. Can't get past the huge frame there of Danny Green. And Green comes in with Gillam. And Gillam and Green, the 2 Gs there, bringing him down. Steve Crossley leaves the field, standing ovation. He has done massive minutes, 50 minutes in total. Mikey Wood will come on as Matt Garside's away. Garside, no look pass to Pickersgill, to Ethan Ryan, in the blink of an eye. Another breathtaking try from the Bradford Bulls. Ethan Ryan scored a hat-trick here against Whitehaven in 2016. He's scored 2 tries so far this afternoon, and that that one was another spectacular Bulls finish. Garside went probing on the left-hand edge in front of the main stand. He found the support from Pickersgill on the outside. The Bulls then go back in, and it's going to be Ethan Ryan from 40 metres out, John.
Yeah, a real good finish. Well, a good try, but sad, for Whitehaven again in good ball and made nothing of it. Come up with an error. Bradford go 100 metres and score. I'm not sure about the swan dive finish. It's a sure way to put your shoulder out, but he got the ball down in the end. No doubt his father is smiling up in Inverness while we've just announced there that he's gone over for another score.
Dave Chisholm will attempt the conversion attempt, and everything seems to be going right for Ethan Ryan in 2018. Now 25 tries in Bradford League One and 27 tries for the season. Dane Chisholm from in front, no mistake, 30 points to 0. 50 minutes on the clock here at Odsal Stadium. And the Bulls leading Whitehaven by 5 tries to 0. Chisholm, 4 from 5 attempts. And Ethan Ryan is second of the afternoon.
Give it up for number 7, Dane Chisholm. Interchange for Whitehaven.
Graham Forrest, Russell McGrath, Mark Dove, Sean Dixon. Great try there from the Bulls. And Steve Potts says, thank you, Ethan Ryan. I was slowly losing the will to live.
He wasn't the only one, Mick, was he?
Halafia out of dummy half to Grant. Tackle 2, Dalton Grant, difficult to bring down. And the Welsh international is wrapped up on his own 30-metre line. Crowd appealing for a penalty, none forthcoming. Halafia to Lilly, Lilly to Garside. Matt Garside finds Pickersgill. Pickersgill's away. Referee Grant pulls him back, and he will say forward pass. 11th error of the afternoon now from the Bulls in the sunshine. James Payne joining us with Jack and Lily from Spain. John Nicole, great coverage, awesome commentary, keep up the great work, proper sport. Sam Grundy says, let's build on that and blow them away. Sam Grundy, incidentally, was one of the 14 Bull Builder members who completed the Yorkshire Free Peaks Challenge last week. Over £2,000 has been raised so far to help youth development. And let's not forget the Bradford Bull supporters group. Dave Hicks at half-time presented a cheque of £839 to Whitehaven Club Secretary Amanda Hewer, and certainly a lot of love in the Rugby League family and the Bradford Bull supporters group and all the members who contributed to helping Whitehaven in their survival fund. Proper Sport really do applaud you. What Proper Sport doesn't applaud is a late tackle off the ball there, and it's another penalty to Whitehaven, their 10th of the afternoon. There won't be many sides who come to Odsal in 2018 and receive 10 penalties. Can they finally make this territorial advantage count? Because once again, they're inside the Bradford 10, and it will be Jordan Thompson. Tackle number 2, the war cry reverberates round Odsal, and Whitehaven have come up with a stinker in front of the post. And this stop-start nature of error, penalty continues. That's Whitehaven's 9th error. And once again, John, the pressure is off. As simple and easy as that.
The pressure is off, but again, it's good. They've gone into good ball and nothing. To me, they're playing with one half-back today, Whitehaven, and it's showing. There's so much one-up rugby from them, even when they're in good ball. I mean, they've gone straight up the middle there, and the guys got to play the ball wrong. They don't seem to have any shape or any ideas when they're in good ball, and that's quite sad, because to be honest, it will be a much better game if they were performing better. I know in conversations I've had with the players, when you're playing against people that aren't that interested or haven't got off the bus, if you like, it's very, very difficult to do what you're supposed to do.
James Green about to come on. John Keir's 5th interchange of the afternoon. Referee Tom Grant, a little bit pedantic, saying the Whitehaven defenders had broken away from the base of the scrum early, so he will give Whitehaven the benefit of the doubt. Lily will put the ball in. They'll now go on the other side. Ross Oakes looks for a gap. nearly finds it, and Ross Oakes will make 20 metres from the base of the scrum. That will do Ross Oakes' confidence the world of good. Whitehaven now penalised for being inside the 10, markers not square, and that is 18 penalties we have had thus far, and we've still got 25 minutes remaining this afternoon on Bulls Live Proper Sport. And Lily will advance the Bulls, 35 out. Igodo will tap it. Second ball on the field. Referee just halting play. Bradford, a full set, 35 out. Lily to Green. Green, who's just come on, fresh and fully recharged, is wrapped up. 25 out on tackle number 1. Quick play the ball, a bit of haste here from the Bulls. Halafihi to Peltier. Peltier goes towards the post. It's still going, Ross Peltier. 4 Whitehaven defenders have to bring the big man down. Once again, another quick play the ball. Chisholm on the inside to Green. Green wasn't expecting the pass, but he'll certainly carry the Bulls 2 metres away. 2 tackles remaining here. The lead by 30 points to 0. There's a bit of pushing and shoving at the ruck there. Referee Tom Grant says penalty to Whitehaven because James Green has just lost all composure there, John. And in front of the referee's eyes, he shoved the Whitehaven markers. Unbelievable.
Just a waste when you're 2 metres away from the line and just get up and play the ball. I just talked to a couple of the boys there at half time outside, and you know, all this frustration and the lashing out earlier by Chisholm around the play the ball. Just get up and play the ball and get on with it. It's not going to achieve anything apart from just cause problems for your own team.
Comments from a couple of Whitehaven supporters, also Bulls fans. We know the Bulls are bad today, but Whitehaven, they've been twice as bad. Sam Grundy agrees with the call. Stupidity from Green. And with 24 minutes remaining now here at Odsall as we approach the hour mark, Whitehaven, to the credit, have only conceded 6 points in the second half. The kick is going to come in from Josh Eaves, but Pickersgill deals with it. Pickersgill, 2 Whitehaven players to get past. Great tackle there from Jordan Burns. Pickersgill felled just shy of the halfway line. The danger's not over. Ross Oakes is brought down 5 metres inside the Whitehaven half now. 3 tackles remaining. Chisholm to Green. Green down the middle. It's getting physical in the heat. The sausages are starting to burn. Here goes Halafihi inside the Whitehaven 20. Chisholm in at dummy half. He's had another penalty come in. Referee plays the advantage. Here goes Lily. Lily to Pickersgill. Igodo. No look, pass out the back door to Grant. Grant's wrapped up on the 5th and last tackle. 2 metres away from the line. Peltier! Igodo with a diving arm. And Igodo in the act of scoring, says referee Top Grant. He's going to say Toyo Igodo on his home debut has lost the ball over the line. Wow. Chance gone begging. It would have been some try from Toyo Igodo.
Yeah, he just needs longer arms. He's very strong, but his arms need to be a bit longer there, don't they? Yeah, and obviously knocked the ball on there in the process of scoring. But again, some pretty good stuff from Bradford, moving forward. But again, just not making the most of the possession at the moment.
22 minutes remain. The discipline from both sides this afternoon has a huge question mark on it. Nearly 20 penalties awarded. The pass has been touched there by Chisholm. Referee Tom Grant's going to stop the clock because there's a player down in back play. So James Green will get the treatment. He's got a bit of claret coming from the right eye. And the clock is stopped here at Odsall Stadium with 23 minutes remaining in this first half. And John, I think if you're Carl Foster and the Whitehaven side, you've got to be relatively pleased with this second half. You've only conceded 6 points. Yes, you conceded 24 in the first half, but they're certainly building a bit of momentum. And as we know, the hunt for the top the top 4 playoff places. It could come down to points difference with so many sides on 26 and 24 and 20 points. It really could come down to points difference.
Potentially. I mean, to me, there's just been far too many errors in the game from both teams. Yes, Whitehaven have sort of stopped the rot a little bit, haven't they? But Bradford have blown a couple of chances and given away some silly, made some silly decisions. A penalty for James Green pushing someone in the face, and Toyo knocks on in the art of scoring. But to me, both teams just need to get back to doing what the basics are. I think everyone's just trying a bit too hard at the moment.
Almost feels like deja vu. Whitehaven once again, after a Bradford error, a full set of 6 inside the Bulls half. But as we said, the Bulls defence, redoubtable, resilient, not giving away an inch in 2018. Here goes player coach Carl Foster, carries Whitehaven just outside the Bradford 20, fast approaching the hour mark here. Is there a lifeline for the Cumbrians? As David Thompson is brought down and loses the ball. Penalty now to the Bradford Bulls. He's going to say David Thompson has moved off the mark. So we're 1 penalty away now from having 20. And David Thompson, incidentally, a try scorer last week when Whitehaven defeated the Newcastle Thunder at the recreation ground. And as we said, Newcastle Thunder on 18 points, coming really to the last chance saloon for Newcastle Thunder. A massive game for them, and head coach Jason Payne at Kingston Park on Sunday. They host London Scholars, and as we've already said, there's fixtures between Coventry, Doncaster, Hemel Stags and Oldham, and also Workington, Keighley and York North Wales Crusaders. 6th interchange of the afternoon from John Keir. We'll see Hallis reintroduced. Halafihi has done a solid 34 minutes. He leaves. Here goes Lilly. Down the middle. Jordan Lilly. Pass on the inside. And Elliot Minchella will go around and underneath the sticks. Great team try there from the Bradford Bulls. Lilly sucked in Jordan Burns. And Jordan Lilly stamping his creative spark on proceedings this afternoon. He might go and run the man of the match vote close, but it's 34 points to 0.
Yeah, very good there from Jordan, just popped the ball off, but Whitehaven are done, I think. Looking at that try, he walked through there and passed the ball off, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see 3 or 4 more tries in the next 10 minutes.
58 minutes gone. Dane Chisholm from in front. Bradford now lead York by 2 points and 104 points on the points for and against. And as we said, from a Whitehaven perspective, they did put a statement out earlier on last month saying that they have received the money that will see them survive for the remainder of the season. And I know Amanda Richardson, from speaking to her personally, working hard behind the scenes, bringing in new sponsorship. And all the best to Whitehaven for the remainder of the season and also beyond. Rugby League needs a presence in West Cumbria. Dane Chisholm from in front, 36 points to 0 on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon. 6 tries from the Bulls this afternoon. We've just hit the 60th minute and the hour mark here at Odsal. John Keys.
Yeah, Bulls are winning quite easily, but as you said, Mick, it's probably one of the slowest games that we've ever watched. There's so many errors and stoppages that I think the lads are about there for 90 minutes by the time the game finishes. But for me, I think Whitehaven are done now after that score. I fully expect Bradford to run in a few more tries, and you don't know, they might go back to back here.
Ross Peltier on the restart. 30 metres made. Quick play the ball. The Bulls have Whitehaven on the rack. Bullock pass from Chisholm to Minchella. Minchella out to Ryan. Forward pass. And back we come. Consistency. That is what the Bradford Bulls have lacked this afternoon. But they've still scored 6 tries, 36 points, and kept that big fat 0 on the against.
Yeah, there's no taking that away from but then with the squad that Bradford have compared to the one that Whitehaven have, for me that should be the score. What I don't like, if I'm honest about the Bradford stuff, is that they just try and do things that probably John hasn't planned, and yeah, it's great to do off the cuff stuff every now and then, but if they stick to a plan now for the next 20 minutes, they'll get another 20 or 30 points here. But again, a silly error there from Elliott, just making a forward pass to Ethan. And the error count is very high today, isn't it, across the whole match?
Bradford currently on 12 errors, Whitehaven on 9. Jesse Joe Parker, the Papua New Guinean international, just down on his back, a bit of cramp there. Referee Tom Grant will stop the clock. And as we said, for those supporters in the ground, the Bulls once again hosting a post-match party here on the Odsal turf. So for those watching the live stream, we'll bring you the press conference with John Kerr on Facebook Live and a couple of players after the game. Julie Seymour says, disappointed in Whitehaven. Not sure they have even got off the bus this afternoon. Carl Williamson says, come on Whitehaven, look interested. Sam Grundy, words of wisdom. The Bulls just need to keep it simple. Stop over trying. Can Whitehaven post their first points of the afternoon? We've said that numerous times as James Tilley, who's back out on the field for the final 20 minutes, is brought down. Here goes Eves out of dummy half, attacking the Bulls markers, but Minchella and Mikey Wood come in and wrap Eves up, the St. Helens low knee. Last tackle, says Tom Grant. It'll go to Phillips. Crossfield kicks from Phillips, looking for Parker. It's missed Parker, and it's also missed Jordan Herve, and it will be scrum, head and feed to the Bradford Bulls as Steve Crossley comes on the field. So a nice relaxing afternoon at Odsal, John. What can we expect from both sides in the final quarter? Well, the referee says time back on here at Odsal, and it is going to be head and feet to the Bulls. The Bulls are going to move the ball down the middle channel. Tackle number 1. Johnny Pownall back on the field. Here goes Grant. Dalton Grant's on tackle 2. Ross Peltier leaves the field. Heroes welcome for him. So here at Odsal, 16 and a half minutes remaining. Steve Crossley brought down on the Bradford 40-metre line. Third tackle gone. 2 remaining. Hallis looks like he's going to find Green, but misses him and goes behind Green to Chisholm. Chisholm's brought down on his back on tackle number 4. It's Bradford Bulls 36, Whitehaven 0. As it goes now with Green, and this will be the last tackle. Although it be another penalty, and that is Bradford's 10th of the afternoon. We've now had 21 penalties in total, and Jordan Lilly will take aim, and he'll find touch over on the far stand side. So Jordan Lilly advances the Bulls 20 metres forward, and it will be Johnny Pownall. Difficult to gauge Johnny Pownall's contribution on his debut this afternoon because it has been a bit stop-start nature, and the ball not really going much out to the wings. The back down the middle here with Chisholm. Chisholm to Lilly. Lilly to Oakes. Ross Oakes has gone without the ball. It is yet another error. Green will bring down Burns. No advantage. And we're going to go back to the 10-metre line for another scrum head and Whitehaven side. And John Keys, once again, deja vu. We don't want to keep repeating ourselves, but another error.
Another try gone big in there, isn't there? It's a shame that that's happened, but, again, it's what the story of the afternoon's been, really, hasn't it? Bradford have done well, to be honest, to get as many points they did early on, because since then it really has been just error after error from both sides. Interesting, some of the Whitehaven comments, some of the supporters. There's another knock on now here.
Well, both Bradford and Whitehaven supporters saying this has been a bit of a poor advert as Whitehaven have their 10th error of the afternoon. So chance for Bradford to potentially score try number 7. And I think on the face of it, when you factor in penalties and errors, Bradford, 2 great tries in the second half from Ryan and Minchella, and potentially about to post their 7th. And if Bradford are successful in picking up 2 vital points and a 40-point plus win come full time, then difficult to criticise too much. But Lily will find Oakes. Ross Oakes tipped in the tackle there. Referee though will say knock on. Touch judge comes on this main stand side. The left leg of Ross Oakes was attacked there by the Whitehaven second row forward, and referee giving advice from his touch judge on this main stand side, and referee Tom Grant there. I think the penalty is going to go to the Bulls, or will decision stand? Penalty to the Bulls. 22 penalties in total, 11 apiece. Well, I'll tell you something. We don't want to see many games for the remainder of the season with 22 penalties. It disrupts the flow. Here comes Lily. Lily to Green. Green's wrapped up 5 metres out from the Whitehaven line. Bradford hunting a 7th try. Hallis wrapped up there by Foster. Foster wraps him up and brings him down. So Hallis is turned on his back. That'll give Whitehaven an extra second in that defensive line. Here comes the penalties, thick and fast. Well, more penalties than ice cream sold on a hot summer's day here at Odsall. We've now had 23 penalties, and don't want to keep counting and adding them up, but Bradford looking to build a bit of momentum here. 15 minutes remain at Odsall. The lead 36 points to 0. Hallis, Lily. Lily looks for options. Lily takes the line on, and Jordan Lilly's brought down a metre shy. Good scrambling defence there from Whitehaven. Hallis to Steve Crossley. Steve Crossley gets the ball down, but he's lost it in the act of scoring. It's another error from the Bradford Bulls. Someone end the pain. Scrum head and feet to Whitehaven.
I'm getting lost now, Mick, for what to say, to be honest. Every set there's an error nearly from both sides. Cough up soft possession. Bradford have blown 3 or 4 tries second half here with some poor handling. Whitehaven look a bit exhausted, don't they now? I think there's probably still about 15 minutes to go. And at the moment they've been penned in their own 20-metre zone for the last 5 minutes, so they're probably not enjoying themselves very much, but they just haven't really offered a lot going forward. But, you know, the error count hasn't helped both sides, and whilst, yes, Bradford have racked some points up, it's not been the most enjoyable rugby league match to watch, if I'm honest.
Well, I think the positives for Whitehaven, it will be a first defeat in 7 outings. Funnily enough, the last time Whitehaven lost was at the recreation ground against the Bradford Bulls back in round 13, but certainly what we've seen in patches from this Whitehaven side is in the running for the top 4, those playoff spots. No one really ever fancies the chances going up to the recreation ground. Here goes Callum Phillips. Phillips away. Phillips still going. Phillips pass on the inside. The chance has gone begging. Chris Taylor couldn't take it in. And that would have been a spectacular try from the visitors. Callum Phillips doing all the hard work down the throat of this Bulls defence. The pass on the inside to Taylor, just gone begging.
I know it's easy to say this, but if you take your eye off the ball in this game, look what just happened. Whitehaven have gone 50 metres up the field off one carry. Some great work there by the halfback. The guy couldn't gather the ball in, but now Bulls are now back on their 10-metre line. Gone from one end of the field to the other in a couple of plays.
Kev Hendrick says no way there should be this many errors in these hot conditions. Julie Weir Oh, for the love of little apples, Whitehaven. And David Huntington says unlucky. Bradford. 12 minutes remaining here at Odsall. 36-0, the Bulls lead. The ball's been lost in the tackle, but it's gone backwards. Here goes Brandon Pickersgill up and over halfway. Finds Minchella. Minchella underneath the sticks. Elliot Minchella. It's going to be a 7th try for the Bradford Bulls. And once again, it's the old 1-2. Pickersgill, Minchella. The Bulls have 40 points.
Great score. For me, Brandon Pickersgill's been the outstanding player again for Bradford today. He's created so much and been around the ruck a lot and created another try there. He's played really well. Yeah, another easy score there really for Bradford. Some great work, but it's funny, isn't it, this game? Whitehaven blow a chance 10 metres out and Bradford go down the other end and score.
Elliot Minchella, 3 tries in his last 2 games. Minchella now up to 28 tries for the season. He's now scored 19 in Bradford League One. Who can forget the 5 tries he scored here against West Will Raiders earlier on in the season in the Challenge Cup? But great awareness there from Brandon Pickersgill, sucked in the Whitehaven fullback Jordan Burns, and then there was just too much toe there from Elliot Minchella. Lee Smith says that is how the Bulls do it. Martin Barwise says the defence from Whitehaven leaves a lot to be desired. Adam Gilmartin, I'd have taken plus 40 at the start of the game. Dane Chisholm takes the Bulls on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon. Out to 42, the heavy heights of 42, points to 0. And there's still 10 minutes to go, John.
I did say this morning I thought they'd win by 50, to be honest with you, and it could have been a lot more, couldn't it, with all the errors. To me, that's the first clear-cut chance Whitehaven have created a couple of minutes ago, and it's been a sad afternoon for them. But yeah, still a few minutes to go, so Bradford got a chance of getting some more scores here.
Bradford now lead the Oxford Knights by 2 clear points at the top of the table and plus 118. It could come down to points for and against as we reach round 26 at the end of September. Bradford, they've got a spring in the step here in the final 10 minutes. Pickersgill's pass to Mikey Ward, and the Huddersfield Giants low knee is going to be brought down 5 metres inside the Whitehaven half. Here goes Steve Crossley, attacks Tilly, Gillam and Foster. Quick play the ball, Chisholm out wide, Pownall on debut, gives it to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan's lost the ball in the act of scoring. Ethan Ryan was on for the hat-trick on the far stand side. That is error number 15 of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls, but we might forgive Ethan Ryan on that one because it was a try-scoring opportunity. But John, we know John Keir, he likes the stats. Certainly, when you look at 15 errors and 11 penalties conceded, but you still posted 42 points.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does this week, won't it, John? How he looks at this game. Yeah, the points thing is really important. As I've said all season, it's just about winning every week. But it'll be interesting to see what he does talk to the lads about the errors, because to me there's far too many. There's some bigger games coming up than this coming up here in the next few weeks, and they need to cut them out because they've got to make the most of the opportunities they have. And again, right, Ethan there trying to spin round in a tackle and score, but I think that's the 5th error around the try line that's happened in this second half for Bradford. They need to maximise opportunities.
Scrum heading feed to Whitehaven. 8 minutes remaining here at Odsall Stadium. We'll open up the Bulls Live Proper Sport Man of the Match vote. So let us know in the comments who you think will be the man of the match. I'll probably throw in 3 names. I think we've got to include Brandon Pickersgill. I think we've got to include Jordan Lilly. I'll let you pick up, throw in the 3rd.
Well, you've named mine already because I think it's Brandon. I think from a work rate point of view, again, Matt Garside's got to be in the mix. played really well first half, and set up a try there second half. And every week, 80 minutes from Gas, 110% effort. But for those three, for me, Brandon's a clear winner though today. But that's the third one I'd add to your two.
Well, there we go. Just 3 names from the commentary call team here on Bulls Live Proper Sport. Pickersgill already getting a lot of votes. Adam Gilmartin says Jordan Lilly. Sam Grundy says Pickersgill man of the match for mine. Don't forget, join us on Facebook Live for the press conference with John Keir, and we'll also get a couple of player interviews in the post-match. But our attention now, with Bradford picking up 2 points this afternoon, will focus on next Sunday's visit to the North Wales Crusaders and the problems that potentially could entail. We know that the North Wales Crusaders have already this season beaten Whitehaven up at the recreation ground by 25 points to 22, so the Bulls will have to show them the utmost respect. And of course they face the York City Knights on Sunday afternoon at Bootham Crescent, so I'll probably see firsthand just how dangerous the North Wales Crusaders can be. But here on Bulls Live Proper Sport, 7 tries to 0, a brace to Ryan, Minchella, Pickersgill, Lilly and Hallis. Here goes Jordan Lilly out of dummy half, looks for a hole, finds the support from Pickersgill. Pickersgill this time is clattered by Green and he is smothered 15 metres short of halfway. Chisholm juggles with the ball, finds Pownall, Pownall's away, Pownall up to halfway. 4th tackle gone here for the Bulls, 1 remaining. Lilly looks for options, finds Wood down the middle and carries Bradford just short of the Whitehaven 30-metre line. 5 minutes remaining. Lilly on the last tackle, crossfield kick, looking for Grant. Whitehaven spilled the ball there. Referee Tom Grant will give the Bulls head and feed. And that, an unlucky error there from the debutant, the local amateur player, Jordan Herve from Kells.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I thought Agoda had tackled him in the air there, actually, when he was challenging for the ball, but... but yeah, an unfortunate error. Bradford now got another chance to post some more points on the board here.
42 points to 0. 5 minutes remaining. Lilly to Pickersgill. Pickersgill named the sponsors man of the match. He'll get to his feet, he'll play the ball. Here goes Igodo. Really liking the work ethic of Toyo Igodo. Keeps going from minute 0 to 80. Although Toyo Igodo there is going to be penalised for moving off the mark. So 24 penalties we've seen here at Odsall this afternoon, and I don't think you can blame the referee for all 24 penalties. I think some of the players need to have a long, hard, honest assessment and look at their own actions.
I think so. I think there's some soft penalties, and there's a few I'm not sure what the referee's called, but I can see what he did there. And also this playing the ball back into the man deliberately isn't accepted anymore, is it? Fans are getting a bit vocal, but penalties given, and Whitehaven now moving forward with the ball.
A sloppy play of the ball from Whitehaven will result in another penalty. The crowd coming alive here in the closing minutes. We've now had 25 penalties, and the penalties coming thick and fast now. 4 minutes remaining. As we said, Bradford 42 points to 0. Their points for and against in the positive over the York City Knights by 118. We'll see how the York City Knights get on against the North Wales Crusaders at Bootham Crescent on Sunday afternoon. But here at Odsall, it's been a real mixed bag performance, it must be said. Phillips to Burns. Burns through a half hole, wrapped up 15 out. 2 tackles remaining. It was Minchella and Ryan to the rescue there. Phillips Bullock pass. Here come Whitehaven. Can they score? Taylor's wrapped up 2 metres out. Taylor will get to his feet and play the ball. It's now going to be another penalty to Whitehaven. Sam Hallis laying on the tackle there, John.
Well, they're lucky somebody's not gone off there, because that was a professional foul, wasn't it, to stop a quick play the ball. And now all of a sudden someone's injured. I must say, from a Whitehaven point of view, Jordan Burns has been by far their best player on the field today. He's been solid at the back, catching the ball, made a great break earlier, but for me he's been their standout. I think it's also fair to say they've really missed the 2 lads that aren't here. That's evident, particularly from the game that Bradford played up at the recreation ground. So, you know, they've kept going. There's a couple of minutes left. They're now in good ball. Let's see if they can come up with something here.
Can Whitehaven post first points of the afternoon? 2.5 minutes remaining. Lilly attacking the legs. Here we go. Out of dummy half from Josh Eves. Eves going close as can be. A metre shy. Carl Foster, he'll be pleased with this second half performance from Whitehaven. Just 3 tries and 18 points conceded. Eves once again out of dummy half, finds Phillips. Phillips out wide to Burns. Burns to Mossop. Mossop's wrapped up. Mossop, can he get a quick play of the ball in? Yes, he can. Back they'll come down the middle with Thompson. Thompson's wrapped up on the 5th and last tackle. 90 seconds remain here at Odsall. Foster, Phillips to Jesse Joe Parker. Parker touches down for the try, but he's inside the 10. It's yet another penalty. The try is disallowed. It remains 42 points to 0.
Yeah, that was a pass that someone had been proud of in the World Cup. There was a real good defence splitting pass, but unfortunately Jesse was 5 yards in front of the ball when it was kicked. Last minute of the game. Bradford now coming out on their own 40, are they, by the looks of it, Mick?
Yeah, Godot will tap the ball 10 metres away from enemy territory. Oaks on tackle 1. 40 seconds remaining here at Odsall Stadium. Betfred League 1 action on Bulls Live Proper Sport. Once again, thank you very much for everyone who's joined us for the coverage this afternoon. Are we going to finish with an error, a penalty or a try? Let's see. The wheel's spinning, it's turning. Hallis is brought down on tackle 2. 30 metres out now. The Bradford Bulls find themselves in front of the South Bank stand. Lilly to Chisholm. Out wide to Pownall. Pownall brought down. On debut, remember. He'll wear number 40 for the remainder of the season. Pickersgill to Ryan. Ryan! What a try from Ethan Ryan. He has another hat-trick. The referee will stop the clock, point the finger. It's confirmed.
I'm sorry, and it's great Ethan's got a trick, but that ball went about 2 yards forward, that last pass. I don't know, the touch judge is right in front of it, but listen, he's got another 3 tries. Just a little too late to get man of the match today, Ethan. But another score for Bradford at the end, like you said, Mickey. Any 1 from 3. Was it a penalty, a knock-on or a try? We're going to try.
Ethan Ryan, his 5th hat-trick of the season. The hooter sounds in the background. There were seconds remaining, and Bradford, they were 20 metres out. It was the quick play of the ball from Pownall. Pickersgill, a forward pass, it must be said, out of dummy half. Ethan Ryan kicked behind Mossop and Thompson, and touchdown in the corner. 46 points to 0. Job well done for the Bradford Bulls. They've moved 2 points clear ahead of the York City Knights. And all that remains of this afternoon's match is for Dane Chisholm to potentially turn Bradford's points for and against ahead of York from 122 to potentially 124. As we said, York host the North Wales Crusaders at Bootham Crescent on Sunday afternoon. Chisholm then, the final act of the game. He's missed it. Full time then at Odsall Stadium. Bradford Bulls 46, Whitehaven 0. A hat-trick from Ethan Ryan, a brace of tries from Elliot Minchella, and we've also seen tries from Brandon Pickersgill, Jordan Lilly and Sam Hallis. John, you've got the difficult task. 80 minutes in 80 seconds.
Okay, so knock-on penalty, knock-on penalty.